Hello everyone, it is Technique Tuesday today, as it is Tuesday what date is it? The 8th of April. So welcome everyone. If you haven't met me before, my name is Linda Dolke. I'm a demonstrator with Stampin' Up. I've been doing this now for nearly 19 years. Can you believe that? Oh my gosh, longest I've ever done any job. But I absolutely love what I do. Every Tuesday I have the pleasure of showing you something new and different. Now, sometimes these things are not new, like today's is not really it's not a new technique at all, but I wanted to bring it to your attention because I think it's something that we all like to do. And let me just pop over into the comments. I see we've got a good crowd here today. Welcome, girls. Donna and Cherie are here. Hello, Margaret. How are you feeling? Are you doing better? Roz is here. Hello, Linda from Las Vegas. And let me see, Tanya's here. Hello, Tanya. You got the times worked out now, Tanya? Barbara, hello. Lorraine, hi. Marty, hello. I saw you said something about the fact that it's now ridiculously late when I go live at the evenings. But unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about the whole daylight saving on and off thing, you know. So I know midnight is really, really late. But when we switch back over, when we go to summer and you guys go back to winter at the end of the next season, we'll be back to that earlier time slot again, and that's probably going to be better for you. But at least you can do the 2 o'clocks, right? So this one right now is in the afternoon, so that suits you okay. Oh my goodness, that's so late. Marilyn, hi. How are you? Jen, hello. I'd be watching replays too if that was me. Exactly. I need my beauty sleep, right? And Leslie, hello. And it's 5 a.m. What are you doing up at 5 a.m.? Mind you, having said that, I was up at 5 a.m. this morning myself. I woke up, I had to visit the bathroom as we have to do in the middle of the night, and then I couldn't get back to sleep. So I was up at 5. All right, so I'm going to be popping in and out. Hopefully we'll get to see all your comments, but I'm going to switch over to the desk first and let's get going. So I don't even have anything on the desk. So something that's worth mentioning straight up front, let me just see if I've got one handy, is that our current catalogs, both the mini and the all of the catalogs. Let me pull them out for you, all right? So everyone knows what's going on. So we've got a catalog here, this one. This is coming to an end. It says to April. It actually finishes on the 5th of May, okay? The last day for this catalog is the 5th of May, and the last day for this catalog is also the 5th of May. So both of these are going away on the 5th of May. There is a last chance list out now, so you can go along to the online store. If you go down into the description below the YouTube video, it actually has the link for you to go shopping if you'd like. Okay, so there is a shopping link below this video. That will only work though if you're in Australia. Unfortunately, if you're overseas, if you're in a different market, you can't shop with me. But let me know because I can certainly put you in touch with someone who will be able to help you and do a fabulous job of that. So these two are coming to an end. And then we have a brand new one, this one, which is coming out on the 6th of May. So these will finish on the 5th. This one will start on the 6th. Okay, so hey, Joan, how are you? Hello, Julie. Lots and lots of friends here today. That's awesome. All right, so just to bear in mind, so I thought today I would do something that is retiring out of here, or play with some retiring product out of here. And then I'm going to do something that's an online exclusive and is current, so it's not in any catalog. So we have not only catalogs that you can shop from, that's why you're better off going to the online store, because the online store also includes the online exclusives. So everything that's in the catalogs is in the online store, but so are the online exclusives, which are not in catalogs, okay? And with this little set here, this one called Textured Notes, this is a new online exclusive one, and I absolutely love the Textured Notes dies. I'll show them to you. Even though these are a bundle together, you certainly could just get the dies and use the dies, because as you can see, these are what I would call super, super, uber useful. Okay, so you've got all these different size rectangles, a big skinny rectangle here, which is great for sentiments. And then we've even got a sentiment sized one here in the middle, all the way up to almost a card front size. And they've all got like little designs. Can you see all the designs around the outside? So they're pretty fantastic. I love them. Some of them have just got like this one, and the one in the middle have got stitching, and all the others have got these fancy pants designs. Okay. Oh, you haven't seen it yet, Leslie? Haha. See, that's one of the bonuses of being a demonstrator, isn't it? That you get the catalogue first. You will love it, I think. I'm very excited about this catalogue. I think it's particularly good. We've had some really great ones over the years. The technique I'm going to show you today is actually using up some scraps. Okay, so we are using scraps today, and we're going to be creating striped backgrounds with scraps. Okay, so I had some scraps. The reason I have this is I have a class tomorrow, and I realized when I was cutting that I had all these scraps left over from class cutting. And I thought to myself, well, those all look really rather nice together, don't they? These colors, this Pool Party, Old Olive, and Night of Navy. Okay, so I thought we'll do a couple, and I'll show you a couple of ideas, and then we'll make definitely make one card, possibly a second card. Let's see how we go. But I'm going to start just with some basic white cardstock. I've got a whole bunch of different pieces of cardstock sitting here, and I'm going to start with that. Okay, so I find the easiest way to do this, you can go about this a couple of different ways. Okay, I know these colors are great, aren't they, Marty? They're really good colors. So I'm going to be doing it like in fact, I might even choose the size I want to do first. Let me choose the size, because I'm going to be doing this on a rectangle, and I'm deciding what size. Do I want this? Yeah, I probably want this size, I think. All right. And there's a couple of different ways you could do this, or I could go for a bigger one. No, this is the size I want. This is the size I want. So there's a number of ways you can do this. You can cut the piece out and then stick these to it. But I actually like to do it the other way around. I like to stick my strips down first and then do my cutting, because then we get the benefit of that beautiful edging. Okay, so we get this lovely fancy edging on top of our stripes. So I'm actually going to show you how I do that. And I'm going to start with a pencil just to give me a bit of an idea. And I'm just going to trace with my pencil, because this is all going to be covered up, so it doesn't matter. You can be messy if you like. I'm just going to trace around it. So just holding the die in one place and going around. So I can see, I didn't even worry about covering down here. It won't matter, okay? But I can see where I need to put my stripes. All right, so I've got, let me start to layer these. I'm going to be putting, now we don't need this whole strip, okay? You certainly could do, glue them down and then, later on chop off the bits. But I'm actually going to just start stripping. So these are going to go like so. Does that make sense? I'm going to be putting them across the corners, and I'm going to go and going to have them like diagonal. You could go straight across if you wanted, or vertically, it doesn't matter, okay? Oh, hey, Judy, how are you? Tanya, I don't think in here you can edit your comments, can you? I don't know if you can or not, but I'm sure Judy didn't mind. I'm sure she's not offended by that. All right, so what I'm going to be doing with my Tombow, okay, is actually applying my Tombow here at the top where I want it. Now, I only want to go down to probably about here. That's about as far as I want to go. So that gives me a guide. I'm just going to make sure this one's got a bit more. This one seems to have more glue in it, so I'm going to go with this one. Now, does everyone realize that Tombow has two ends? I think everyone knows that, don't they? So you've got your skinny end here that you can be more precise. But if you want to put a lot of glue over a wider area, you can use this big smushy bit on the end. I know. I think we have all the Leslies. We have Leslie out at Broken Hill. We have Leslie Smith in the UK. Sorry, Leslie Kilby in the UK and Leslie Smith in Sydney. So everyone. Have we got any other Leslies here? So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be smushing this down. Of course, it's all up the other end, isn't it? Because that's where I normally use it. Here we go. And I'm just going to put this straight over this area. You don't need to be, very, what's the word, precise with it. You can just stick it down straight like that. All right, so I'm going to start. Which way will I go? I'll go this way. I'm going to start, and you just want to make sure it goes right over the corner. And then I'm going to line them up so they butt up against each other. Okay, so this one's going to be a little bit bigger. And because you put your glue down first, it's really easy to just lay them down. I've seen people actually do it the other way where they, you know, put the glue on the strips. That takes a lot more time. So if you want quick and easy, this is the way to go. All right, smush, put it on, smush it around on here, and then you can just stick your strips to it. I think that's better. So I'm just going to butt them. And because we're butting them all up, whoops, I don't want that one. I want navy. What am I doing? And I think I'll do this one as well. Now, this one, I have got a little bit, I want to go a little bit further over, and my glue didn't quite go that far, so I'll just put a bit more down. The technique, I don't know. What is it? Technique would probably be, what shall we call it? Making backgrounds with scraps, maybe? I don't know. I'll have to think of a fancy name. What shall we call it? What will I call the video? Because I have to edit the video after I do this. All right, so we're just going to put those like that. I'm going to leave it like that. And then I'm going to bring in my stamp set, and I'm going to do a bit of stamping. And I'm deciding how wide. I think I'll have the long, thin one. And I don't even know if I've put this one together yet. Actually, I don't think I have. That's okay. Takes us a moment to do that. So when you pull these out, if you haven't seen me do this before, I've got a whole video just about this. So go and watch it. Go and check it out. All right. But I'm going to put that. Which way does it go? That way. That's, whoops, that's facing up. Okay. Then I'm going to get my label that matches it. And I'm going to find the split in the middle of the label, and I'm going to fold the split back. Like that. Then I'm going to pick up that whole label, the whole thing. And I'm going to stick it on my block. And because we've already dog-eared these, we just peel it back from there. And then you turn it over, and then you line it up with the back of your stamp, because you can see where you're going. And that's now together and ready to go. All right. And when you want to put it back in the pack, it's already put together. So that's all you have to do. Super easy, don't you think? All right, let's go. Guess what? The other day I couldn't find my Night of Navy, but I had a clean up and I found it. So yay me. All right, so I'm going, you are seriously the best, which is what this says. Oh, I've got a bit of extra ink on here. Let me get that off. Don't want that on there. Otherwise we'll overstamp and I'll be sad. And we don't want to be sad. Okay, so I'm going to line this up so that it's in line with the strips that we've put down. All right, just like that. Scrappy backgrounds. That sounds good. Yes, I like that. Glenda and Leslie said scrappy backgrounds. Yay, good name. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, so then I'm going to come back in with my strips again. And this one's going to be about the same distance below as this is above. So I'm going to have it right about here. And I'm going to put this down in this. Oh, I pulled the wrong end off because I want to use, give it a squeeze. Come on. Oh, it would help if I was using the right one. That's better. All right, so then we're going to just zip around and cover that whole area again. And then we're ready to add more strips. All right. So I'm going to put that right about there. And once again, I'm making sure it's parallel to the ones above. And I'm just going to snip that off. It just needs to extend beyond. It doesn't need, you don't need to worry about these edges because we're going to be cutting those off. So that won't matter. All right, so we're just going to pop these on. Oop. Push it up against that so there's no gap in between. And then this little guy, is there enough room there? This one, oh, this one fits. Don't need to cut it down even. And then, and so on. Okay, you're getting the idea? Now, at the moment, I know it doesn't look like much. Just trust me. Trust the process, guys. It's going to work. This is a really great way to use up scraps. So if you find that, you know, you've got a lot of scraps left over you after you've cut up a bunch of cards, or you have, like I do, a scrap drawer with, you know, hundreds of pieces of paper in it that you need to use up, this is a really great way to go. I've cut mine. I actually went in and cut up some bigger pieces too, and I made sure they were all about a quarter. They're about a quarter of an inch or 7 millimeters, so about a quarter of an inch wide, which I think works really well. And then let's cut that one off, and we're nearly there. There's a couple of shorter bits. Now, did I actually? I think I got all of that. Hang on a second. Let me see. Well, I don't know if I did. I might have. I'm just going to add one more just to be safe. I don't know that we'll need it, but I'd rather be safe because I don't want a white corner. All right, so that's done. Okay. I mean, it looks a bit of a mess at the moment, doesn't it? But if you do it this way, you actually go down as far as you want to go down, then do your sentiment, and then do the rest. I just find that's easier than, you know, trying to work out later. But you could, of course, put a strip over the top with the sentiment on it as well, but I don't want to do that. All right, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cutting this like so. All right, so this is actually going to be cut, and I'm going to put it through my cut and emboss machine and be right back with it. And the nice thing is the cut and emboss machine with these kind of very simple dies has no trouble at all cutting through both layers, the cardstock on top and the white underneath. If you're not 100% sure and you want to make sure, you might want to run it through one way and then run it back the other, just to be sure that you're going to get a good cut. And then we take that off. Cut through. And we've got that lovely edge. Look at that. Can you see it? Got that lovely edge on this piece, which looks terrific. All right. Now, if you do have any little marks or anything like that, I find if you get any little bits of glue where they shouldn't be, I did get a white corner on this end. Doesn't matter, you know, it doesn't look bad. And I ended up with a tiny, tiny little bit of a blue corner on this one. I actually don't mind that. So what you could do, though, is use an adhesive remover if you have one, and go over any little bits of glue that have gotten stuck where they shouldn't. If you have one of these, we used to sell these once upon a time. You can't buy them from us anymore, but you can get them at, you know, office supply store, Spotlight, newsagents sometimes, you know, those kind of places. So that's how it looks when we're all done. Isn't that cool? I think it's a really cool shape. You need a birthday card for your son. Ah, well, this is a great technique. You can do really great guy cards. I mean, you could do any kind of card, just change your colors accordingly. Okay. And I think those colors would work well for a guy, actually. I think they're really rather nice. So that's navy, pool party, and old olive. Cherie thought that Sheila had something on Sunday night, but no, I know she wasn't well on Friday night, and I'm wondering how I've been wondering the same thing because I haven't seen her here today either, and that's unusual. So I hope she's okay. All right, so I'm thinking that I might just I could do a couple of things. I could put this on just a basic white card base, or we could go with a color underneath. So I could go with Pool Party. Let's try a couple of options. I'm just not sure which one would be best. So we could put it on a white base and it would look great, nice and crisp. And we can put it on, what do you guys think? Oh, is that what you thought it was, Cherie? Huh, interesting. Yeah. I just hope she's okay because I was a little bit concerned when I didn't see her on Sunday night. But All right, so this is 14.8 long to make my card base. All right, so Linda suggested navy. Okay, I'm gonna fold a couple of card bases and then we can decide. Navy is another option. I'll tell you what else could be another option would be Misty Moonlight, which is just kind of like a lighter night of navy, really. But both of those might work. Let's see. Now I could, the other thing I could do, which might look quite nice, is if I was to do a panel on top and, I mean, that just looks nice all by itself, doesn't it? It's quite pretty. The white makes it pop more, definitely, whereas the pool party is a little bit more muted. But they both look good. Let's try the navy, just like what Jen said. So I'll grab a navy scrap out of my. So this is how it would look on the navy. Oh, it does look good. Okay. We could also do like I said, a panel and emboss it, which might look rather good. What do we think about the navy? All right, so 1 pool party, 2 navy, or 3 white. Let's take a vote. Let's see what people think. Well, the new sea color, yep, secret sea, that would look okay. It'd be very dark, a little bit more gray. If you use the pool party, you could make a navy panel. Yes, I could. So you mean on top of here? Yeah, we could do that. We could do that on the white too. I mean, like, I feel like, and then I could emboss this. What do you guys think? So people are saying, oh, you're thinking the navy. Okay, white panel, then navy. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to cut the navy. We're going to go with the navy, but I'm thinking instead of a card base, I'm going to cut it down. I'm going to make a card front, which I probably will put on a white base, to be honest. So I'm going 14.3 by 10, which is the card base size. So this would go here, and this would go here. That does look better, doesn't it? That looks better. Looks a bit more finished. Shall I emboss this? What a narrow mat around the scrappy background. I could do that. That would also look good. I mean, we could do a silver mat, which would look quite nice. If I'm going to emboss this, I probably wouldn't put a mat because it's going to cover too much of the embossing. But lots of go another layer and have a pool party and navy. Lots of good ideas, you guys, as always. All right, I'm feeling like we're going to need some not necessarily bling, but actually I have an idea. All right, what do we think? Do we like that? Emboss it? Looks good as is. Or we've got some people going for the embossing, some people saying to leave it as it is. All right. Okay. For this one, I think I'm going to leave it as it is, only because I have actually let me do this. Use my seal because I'm thinking about adding maybe some not gems but some embellishments that are not too girly, because this could be a guy card, right? And then this would need to go up on dimensionals. That'll also help. Adding dimensionals always elevates your cards, if you'll pardon the pun. It just makes everything pop. So I am a big advocate for dimensionals. I think they make such a difference to how your cards look. Bling on each side of the sentiment. Oh, we could do that. Yeah, that would work. Now, I've got that slightly above. I think I'd like to actually stand up and get it right in the middle. So let me do that. All right. And then let me grab my... So I could go with like matte dots and color them to match. You know, that's a possibility. Or I could just add, you know, white matte dots. Those would look okay. I'm just looking to see. I have some pool party, these little what they call them, party dots. These little pool party ones actually would look quite nice. And they're not too girly either. Do you know what I mean? Looking. Trying to pick something that's also white. The white starburst. The white starburst sequins would actually look really good. Those. And I can colour them if I wanted to. Has everyone seen the starburst sequins? I have absolutely been loving them and using them for so many different things. What did Lynn ask? Did I miss something? That's okay. Oh, Maureen says leave it. If I'm going to do the other side of the sentiment, I wouldn't use white because it's not going to show up very well. I don't know. People are saying it looks good as is. Hey, Jolene, nice to see you. Thank you for your lovely card, by the way. I really appreciate that. All right, we have got people saying pool party. I'm going to try putting a pool party just either side, just a small one, either side of the embellishment of the, sorry, of the sentiment. What do we think about that? Is that? Oh, no embossing, you meant. I see. I'm going to go with those. I think they look great and they're not too over the top. You could definitely use this card for a guy. Absolutely. Yeah, I think it would work as the guy card, Judy. I think you're right. All right. Shall we move on to another one? All right. I have got some other colors. Now, these are more colors from the subtles. So when I went to my scrap drawer and pulled out all my subtles, I had a whole bunch of pieces of paper, some small. I don't keep small scraps all that often unless I'm going to do something like this, but it's easy enough for me to make them because I, you know, because I'm wanting to use coordinating colors and I have all this cardstock left in. So the colors I have, and we don't have to use all of these, okay? We can work out which ones we want to use. My original color I was thinking was pool party, bubble bath, and peach pie. I thought that looked nice. Then we've got fresh freesia. What would look good with that? Highland heather, and maybe some different, lots and lots of different combos. So feel free to let me know which one you think would look good. I've got some bubble bath here. 1, 2, or 3. Which color combo? This is more of a flowery card, it'll be a girly card, this one. So you keep and use everything. I can't, Cherie. I would be drowning. 1 says Lynn, 3 says Marty, 3, 2, 3, 3, 1, 3. It's jumping around everywhere. I'm seeing so far more 3s than anything. 1, 3. Still looking. More 1s. Now the 1s are coming in. Oh, but there's still 3s. Do you know which one? You know, I'm watching. You guys seem to be going between 1 and 3. My favorite is actually 2. So isn't that funny? Because I think we all have different ideas. I mean, we could also, you know, you could mix it up. You could throw the, I mean, that would look nice as well. There's so many nice options with these. So there we go. So we're between 1 and 3. I feel like I need to toss a coin, guys. All right, let me go back and see who was the very first person because that might be the decider. Lynn was the first and she picked 1. All right, 1 it is. So what have we got? We've got peach pie, Highland heather, and fresh freesia. Oh no, that's bubble bath. Give me a second. Fresh freesia, Highland heather. All right, so now that I've got my bits and pieces worked out what I want to use, I'm going to pick, I've got a different shape I want to do this time. All right. And oh, this is, and I'll put those other ones aside and use them later for something else. All right, so I'm going to do something similar. And I have decided this time I want to work with, like I said to you before, something that's retiring. So I'm picking a nice, this is a really great shape that I particularly like. And it is, like this set, it's hard to believe it's going because it's not been around that long. It's called Memorable Blooms. Who else loves this set? I didn't get it straight away, and then I kind of fell in love with it once I saw what people were doing with it, and it's just so pretty. So I've got this shape, which is like a beautiful hexagon kind of shape. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I am actually going to create a piece that I can use like for the background. And I'm going to use this different pencil. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to trace around it again so I know what I need to cover. I just find if you do this, this is going to help you know where the outer limits are that you know that your strippy bits need to cover. All right, so it needs to actually extend beyond that. All right, so let's start. I'm going to do the whole thing this time. I want the whole thing to be stripped over, and because we are going to be doing the whole lot, it's actually really easy. You just do that whole piece. So we're just going to, and it won't take very long, so it shouldn't be dry. But I mean, we could always refresh it and add some more glue if we need to, but there should be plenty of glue to see us through there. All right, so I'm going to start, and I'm going to start putting down over the edge here. I'm going in line with that side, and I'm just going to snip that off. One. You could cut smaller pieces if you want to. I just cut them as I go because I find that easier, but that's just because I'm lazy. That's all. And of course, I'm going in line with the hexagon. You could go straight across if you wanted to. Totally up to you how you do this. There is no right or wrong. You just do whatever floats your boat, really. So this is a little bit like colouring or cutting. It makes me go quiet because I'm concentrating. That's not very good videoing, is it? I guess if you don't mind just waiting while I'm busy gluing and sticking. Oh, did I make that? Did I do that right? No, I didn't. I put the wrong one on. Ta-da! Let's do this one. As you can see, if you make a mistake, it's easy to fix. Then this one. Once the glue's dry, it's a bit trickier to fix. This one. Oop. That butted up against any that are in front. If it doesn't quite butt up, just move it. That's the good thing about Tombow. You can just shift it along. And then we've got this one again. Actually, I'll use that one. Oh, I've missed some comments. Sorry. Just noticed that I had scrolled back up and I missed some. How wide are the strips? These ones are 1/4 of an inch. So 7 millimeters is 1/4 of an inch. But, you know, you can make them as wide or as narrow as you like. I prefer to work with narrower ones, but there's nothing working with wider. Or I tell you what, you don't have to have them all the same either. If you want to, you can have a, you know, variety of strips. You could make, you know, some wide, some narrow. You could emboss some of them before you glue them down. There's a whole bunch of different things you can do with this. It actually gives you a lot of scope to play around and do different things. I'm going to go back and cut these off. All right, fantastic. So we know now that that's going to go through. A cardboard tube from a paper towel. That is a great idea. Or just even in, like, I used to, you know, I've got a few of these kind of things that I keep my, you know, that I keep my pens and stuff in. That's also, those sorts of things are really good for paper strips as well. So, you know, and pen holders and stuff like that. Definitely use those for you. All right, so I'm now ready to go with this, and I'm going to run this through my cut and emboss machine and make this shape. But yes, that's a really good idea, Nicole. Now, once again, this die has a decorative edge. So by doing it this way, we're going to get a decorative edge on the top of our paper strips. Okay, so let's remove that. And once again, there's a few grubby marks from my plates. So I'm just going to add a bit of glue there. And I'm just going to, because what can happen if you use too much glue, the glue can actually squish up between the strips, and you don't want that. So that's why it's good to just put down a fairly thin layer of glue. All right, you could use, I find Tombow really good because you get time to reposition stuff, but you could also use, you know, you could use, you know, seal close together or different things. Now, if I want this to go straight up and down, okay, I'm going to be positioning it this way, or I can have it on a diagonal, or I can have it going straight across. So depending on which way I position this, I'm not limited by which way my strips are. Okay, whereas this guy, there's, you know, that's a bit more directional. This one has a lot multi-directions that you can use. Right now, before we started this, I actually, let me grab these out. I actually did a bit of cutting and actually started with this piece that fits inside. So I actually have this piece. If we decide we're going to use this today, we could put this on top. And we're going to, I did it in black, and then that immediately like gives us a nice contrast against the colors we just used. Doesn't that look cool? Oh, Pringle tubes. Yeah, that's a great idea. Actually, Pringle tubes are good for all kinds of things. You can, I've covered Pringle tubes with DSP around, and you know, use them to gift, like to put chocolates in or something like that. So you can do all sorts of stuff with Pringle tubes. They do look really good, don't they? I know. So that's a possibility. Or, you know, you could also use, like I could use this die out of here, and we could have a die that goes up the side, which also would look really nice. I'm thinking this time we might get our embossing on though. I think I had a couple of other pieces, and they might have gone under my glass mat. Oh, they did. That's why I can't find them. So I also did one in silver to see what that would look like. You know, like you could have that on the front of your card. And I've got a green one, which really doesn't go at all. So the green one actually would have gone, not that I want to do that, but that would have gone nicely with these ones, wouldn't it? So that would have been cool. But we didn't do that. All right. So this time I've got a piece of basic white, thick. Actually, I'm tempted to go, I'm not going to go basic white thick. I'm going to grab this piece of just basic white, and I'm going to do an embossed background. So this is 10 centimeters. across by 14.3, which is my standard card front size. All right. And then this piece is going to get run through an embossing folder. Now, I've just got to decide which embossing folder. That's always the hardest thing to decide. So let me pull out a couple of contenders that I think would look really nice on this card. Okay. Well, we could go with this one. This is retiring, as is the rest of this. So we could do a retiring one. Maybe we should. I could use the plaid or tartan, depending on. Oh, the eyelets would also look nice because that's a really sweet little folder. We've also got corrugated, so that's nice too. That's a new one. This one, I'm tempted to use this because it's going away, as so is the rest of the set. So that would make a lot of sense. I'm just looking to see the painted texture is also a fantastic folder. This is one of my folders. Is that my favorites? Is that going? Is that on the last chance list? I'm still learning what's on the last chance list. So let me look up the word texture and see what comes up. Let me see. It's not on that page. Maybe I didn't give it enough information. Does anyone know? Haven't found it yet. Maybe it's retired. It might be gone. The layered florals is also on the last chance list. So that's this. Oh, no, that's not it. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can find it. It's this one. This one with the like magnolia looking flowers. So that one's going as well. It does make that's a really, the corrugated embossing folder is fabulous. I really love it. Yes, distressed tile is going. That's your favorite, is it? But I'm not sure about, I know this is last chance. I know this is. Oh, it retired a while ago. Oh, I better put it away then. Better get rid of that. It's gone. All right. So I don't think I want anything quite that detailed. I want this to be more of a background. So I am going to use the distressed tile. I'm going to do this white piece here in distressed tile. So I'm going to quickly whip that through. This is a 3D folder, so I do need my 3D plate. And I'm going to quickly put that through. All right. So this is very, very pretty folder. So what do we think? Do we like it with the black over the top? Do we like that? And do we like them going diagonally? Do we like them going across? What do you think? Which way should we go? And while you're thinking about that, I'm going to get my Fresh Freesia cardstock out, and I'm going to grab a piece of card base for that. Definitely the black. Black, says Cherie. Okay, black seems to be the vote. So we will go with that because that's the one everyone is saying. And I've got this out of my scrap drawer, and it's probably a little bit, the edges of it are a little bit folded out, but that's okay. I'm going to work with it anyway. Right, so this so did we decide, do we want diagonal? Do we want straight across? I don't mind straight across. That's quite nice, actually. Or do we want vertical? Which way do we want it to go? Diagonally, says Linda. angle, says Jen. Diagonally says, okay, diagonally it is. Everyone's going with the diagonal. I think I'll go that way, diagonals. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get my Tombow, and actually I'm going to pull out a mat to put under this, because I find sometimes when putting glue behind these things you can end up with a sticky surface. So if you do it on your silicone mat, that one's gone in the bin. Try this one. That's better. If you do it on your silicone mat, then any glue that gets on your table, on your surface, it doesn't stick to the silicone. It's fantastic. Everyone should have one silicone mat in their craft stash. If you don't have one, add it to your next order. They are fantastic. I've put all the ordering information down below for you in the YouTube video so that you can go shopping if you would like. If you already have a demonstrator, you should reach out to them. Otherwise, I'm very happy to fill that gap for you. All right, let's put this on here. We're going diagonally as was requested. And then I'm going to line those edges up. Looks good, doesn't it? Do you like it? I think that's really fun. All right, so this is now going to go onto here, like so. This is going to go here, like so, and then we're just going to have a greeting at the bottom, okay? Ah, good point. And thank you for saying so, Cherie. Yes, I don't keep any retired stock. I mean, I have some that's available for sale, but I don't. Once it's retired, I get it off my shelves, so I've got room for new stuff. So I think, I know that's different to a lot of other people. Some people are probably horrified to hear I don't keep my retired stuff. But the reason why is because I'm doing this as a business. So there's absolutely no use whatsoever for me to have retired stock. I can't sell it. I'm not able to make an income from it. So yeah, it makes no sense for me to work with retired stock, unfortunately. Sorry about that. But I know for customers, certainly, and a lot of demonstrators too, they do keep their retired stock, and that's perfectly fine. You can do that. There's nothing to say you can't, but you can't make money out of it, unfortunately. Yeah, there's people out there who certainly are using up their retired stock. I'd rather sell mine and get a few dollars for it to help me buy new stuff, because that's what I'm working with, right? So it's just a different take on it, depending on where you're at. All right. Now, this particular set, as beautiful as it is, doesn't have any banners or anything like that. But I think we should have one, don't you? So just to show you what else is in here, because like I said, this bundle is retiring, and so is the dies, so are the stamps. So these three here match these three stamps in the stamp set, so you can color them, stamp them, color them, and then cut them out with the dies. Okay, that's a cool way to go, because you've immediately got much better use out of those rather than having to cut them out by hand. And then you've got the beautiful, I was going to hexagon. It's not a hexagon. It's an octagon, because it does have 8 sides. And then it has this beautiful detail piece like the piece we've just used straight over the top here. They go perfectly together. And then you've got this lovely leaf as well that you can add to different things. There it is, cut out and ready to go for something else. All right, so I think I might go for my favorite dies. These are not last chance, are they? Someone tell me they're not. The Stylish Shapes dies, are those still current? I need to check. Stylish Shapes. Yeah, not retiring. Woohoo! Right, these are my favorite because even though I have a few other dies these days that I love as well, I just find these are so, that one would work quite well. Is it a bit big? Do you think it's a bit big? The greetings in the set, we have, I appreciate your thoughtfulness. You've been on my mind. Love and thanks, and you are awesome. The you are awesome and the love and thanks fit the smaller dies that are in here. So, for example, this one, you are awesome, will fit in that. But I think that's too small. That doesn't look right to me. That's weird. We've got love and thanks would go in the big one, like the longer one. That looks better. Okay, and I could put that to one side if I wanted to. I think that might look better actually to one side. But this one, if I was going to put that, I would put that one in the middle if I was going to use it. Too big, too chunky, says Leslie. Yeah, thank goodness still current. Yay. Yeah, Stampin' Up! Doesn't have an official policy. But that's just me because I'm doing this as a business. If I was only doing it for fun, I would have mountains and mountains of retired stock I'd be using all the time. But I'm not just, I do it for fun. Absolutely, it's fun. But yeah, that's not my aim. All right, so what have we got? Well, if we do the love and thanks, maybe we do that. You like the big one? Judy says she hasn't made anything since October because your hands have given you trouble, haven't they, Judy? All your new stuff is retired. That's sad. Does that make you sad? Oh, it would look nice in purple glimmer paper. That would have looked good as well. And it would have been less contrast than the black, but that would have also, it would have been very, very, a bit special. That's what that would be. All right. So right now I'm thinking about going, let me stamp this, and I'm thinking about, I'm going to grab a smaller piece of white. And I'm going to do this. I could do it in black, but I think I feel like doing maybe Highland Heather, the dark. Oh, actually, gorgeous grape. Let's go darker purple. Let's do that. So each person has to do what's right for them at the end of the day. So, you know, I know some people are horrified that I sell all my retiring stuff, but I get excited when it's time to sell retiring stock because then I have room for new stuff. I got a little bit of overstamping there. I'm not happy with that image. Let's try again. All right, so see, this would fit, but it's not. It's a bit chunky, and I feel like maybe the smaller one is going to look better. This is actually my favorite one. This is the one I lost. Do you guys remember I lost this one for a number of weeks, and then it showed up in one of my scrapbooking workshop kits? All right, I'm gonna cut that out. I love die cutting. I've got to tell you, once we didn't always have die cutting, and I'm so glad we do because it is absolutely the time saver. You know, you definitely save a bunch of time cutting and all those sorts of things that you don't have to do. So yeah, I'm very grateful for that. But I remember when we didn't have die cutters. We didn't have them at all for the first few years because Stampin' Up! Started in Australia in 2006, and we didn't get die cutting until I think it was, I'm thinking 11 or 12 when we got it. So it was quite a long time. And I haven't given up your idea of glimmer paper yet. I think your idea, Marilyn, of glimmer paper is a very good one. So give me one moment. I've got some Highland Heather glimmer paper here. And I feel like I'm going to turn it over so I don't blunt my blade. And I'm just doing a thin strip. Oh, actually, I'm going to cut it to 10 centimeters wide, which is as wide as my white piece. I'm thinking about putting this down here. Do we want that? I think I want that just above, actually. Or maybe I'll put it down near the bottom. I just think a little bit of white is a great idea. I want this closer up here. What do we think? Do we like that idea? And because I'm using my silicone mat, when you're doing a thin strip like this, I find the best thing to do is to use seal, hold it on one end and just do the whole thing. So the whole thing is covered, but notice how it doesn't stick on here at all. You do not get a sticky desk. Love that. All right, I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals behind here. The first position was better. You mean higher? It helps, but it helps. They stick much better if you take the backs off, I'm finding. Really. Do you think it would have been higher up, Cherie? I'm okay with it, but if you really think I need to, let me know. All right, so then bling. What bling shall we use? Purple gems. Purple gems would be good. I've also got these guys. So these are the purple gems, and we could use, you know, either the Gorgeous Grape or the lighter ones, which I think are the Highland Heather. I actually think maybe the lighter ones. Oh, I don't know. Those are fun. These are Blackberry Bliss, so we won't use those. I've also got these Gorgeous Grape ones. Those are really nice. These are the glossy dots. I'm not even sure if we still have these. These might be retired, in which case I'll feel very sad that I shouldn't be using them. Oh, they're on last chance. Ooh, and they were $14 and they're only $8.40. And there are 4 colors. So Pool Party, I think these are Crush Curry, or they might be Daffodil, Melon Mambo, and Gorgeous Grape. But those are right down to $8.40. How good is that? We love a bargain. We love bargain hunting. I see what you mean. Yeah, I think maybe you're right. I'm going to use these because, you know, when can I use them again? All right, I'm going to go a big one. Where will I put it? Where shall I put it? Oh, I don't know. I'll start here. I can always move it. And then there are 3 sizes. See, small, medium, and large. So this is a medium and a small. Whoops. Is this in the right place? I think it's, or maybe the other option, I haven't pushed it down hard yet, would be to put it on the end of the sentiment. Maybe the end of the sentiment looks better. Fantastic, Leslie. So Leslie said she bought some last chance embellishment and earned rewards. Win-win. Absolutely. Does everyone realize that every order over $35 gets you rewards now, that you get 10% back into your Stampin' Up! Rewards account that you can use on a future order? That is fantastic. You have to opt in to get the rewards, but once you've opted in once at the beginning, you never need to do it again, and then you get rewards on every order. It's fantastic. Oh, no, Leslie. Oh, sorry, Cherie. That's so frustrating when a card that you had in your head ends up in the bin. Smaller one on the banner? Okay, I agree. I think it's a little bit big. I think you're right. Let's go a medium-sized one. I think you're right. That's better. There we go. Look at that. I'm happy with that. All right, so we ended up with 2 cards today. Totally different, but scrappy backgrounds. We used our scraps to make some beautiful backgrounds on these cards. What do we think? Do you like it? Do you have a favorite card? I know I often ask you guys this, and sometimes people will say both, and sometimes people will say, you know, one or the other. Do you like one or do you like 2? Let's vote. I'm just curious to see which one people like the best. Oh, see, Susie, that's opting out because you said you love them both. Both, says Judy. Oh, it's very frustrating when you abandon a card. It happens to me too. I start or and sometimes I do them live and I think, oh, I really don't like that card. Yep, you know when I do it. 2, says Susie. 2, says Tanya. 1, says Maureen. 2, second one is more you, says Cherie. So I'm sure that, has everyone done this? Or, I'm sure I'm not showing you something particularly new here. But who's not tried this and who's going to give it a go? I'd be curious to hear if anyone hasn't tried making scrappy backgrounds with your leftover pieces. How do you opt in for awards? When you go to order, Marty, you're in the US. Okay, doesn't work for you yet. Yours come in on the 15th of this month. So it's only, another week away? But when that happens, it's going to be when you go in to place an order, if you're a demonstrator, you get opted in automatically. You don't have to do anything. Okay, it just happens. But if you're a customer, when you go in to place an order, the first time you do it, it'll pop up a message and it says, would you like to opt in for Stampin' Rewards? And you just have to hit yes that you would. It's that easy. Okay. And once you've opted in, then you get rewards on every single order and it just goes and keeps on. You can save them for up to a year. Okay. So you have 12 months to use them. You can save up to something really good, or you can use them off every order. So super. You haven't tried it. Well, now you will. Now you will, Tanya. Now you will, Leslie. Lorraine said she's going to. Oh, little bit like iris folding, but different. And the rewards do add up fast. Exactly. It's very, very cool. I'm saving mine for the virtual scrapbooking retreat that's happening in July. We can order the product for the virtual scrapbooking retreat from the end of May, and I'm planning on using my rewards for that because that'll make it a much more reasonable event for me. So that's how I'm going to do it. But I'm sure other people have got their minds on things that they would like to get, maybe a cut and emboss machine or a big suite or something that is something you've been eyeing off, but, decided to wait until you were feeling a little bit more financial. So having the rewards will help you do that. So it's fantastic. That's what you're doing too, Susie, is it? Haha. Yeah, but it's not very much, Leslie. In Australia, it's $35. Okay. Yes, you don't have to worry, Marty. That's exactly right. That's true. All right, I'm going to come back to me so we can say goodbye. I hope everyone enjoyed that today. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I'm really happy with the cards. I think they turned out great. I think if you give this a go, I'd love to see if you're in my VIP group, and anyone who's in Australia can be in the VIP group. I'll put it up on the screen because what I was going to say, if you're in the VIP group, here it is. It's a Facebook group. You can post your creations in there, and I would love to see what you do with this background. Okay. Now, last before I go, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. YouTube channel is fantastic when people subscribe because it means they show my videos to more people. The more people that subscribe, the more people get to see. So that's fantastic. Also, you can press a little bell if you like and get notified when I'm going live. The other thing is that I also have a newsletter that goes out every week, and you can be part of that and receive a newsletter from me. And to get the newsletter, I'm going to pull that down. All you have to do is head over to my blog at lookwatimade.com.au, and there's a sign up form for the newsletter on that form. So there we go. That's everything from me today. I will see you all again on Friday evening. Looking forward to that. It'll be sketch night. So for those of you who can't watch live, that's okay. There'll be a replay, and there's a replay of every video that I put up. Okay, you guys have a fantastic week ahead, and I will see you very soon. Bye.